We have only 30 days and a tight budget to turn the main living spaces of this house into something spectacular.
We'll start by giving the laundry room a complete makeover, then move into the living room where we have a blank slate, and finally we'll tackle the kitchen.
But the clock is ticking because the homeowners are expecting their first baby in just over a month. So join us for the ride as we attempt to beat the buzzer and make this house into a home before the baby comes.
What? It looks so good.
It looks so good. Before we get started, we want to say thanks to Foreo for sponsoring today's video. Foreo sent me their UFO 2 facial device, which is the world's most advanced smart mask. This little thing is so cool. It integrates thermotherapy, cryotherapy, and LED light therapy to push mask essence deep below the skin surface and lock in moisture while reducing the appearance of pores and making it a lot more effective than other at-home masks. It also features T-sonic pulsations, which relax your face and neck muscle tension points while boosting your skin's radiance. There are so many features in this one small tool, making it really easy to get a professional level facial in the comfort of your own home. There are a wide variety of masks to choose from, and if you're not sure where to start, the app can help target your specific needs. My skin is feeling a little dry, so I'm going to be using the H2O Overdose Mask, which features hyaluronic acid as the main ingredient, which is great for all skin types and is so hydrating. In the app, you simply select the mask you want to use and it automatically goes through a unique treatment that corresponds to that mask formula. This one uses thermotherapy and pulsing, which really help the ingredients absorb well. So if you're interested in trying out Foreo's UFO 2 facial device, be sure to check out the link in the description below where the first 100 people will get 21% off.
If you've been following this home makeover series, then you know that last week Andrea put in a ton of work to start renovating this laundry room, including buying lots of materials, painting cabinets, making a custom butcher block countertop, and a custom cat door, and not to mention demoing the laundry room and installing a budget backsplash. And with all of that work, Andrea will be ready to reveal this laundry room to Grant and Allie in just 2 days. The only problem is Andrea's to-do list for the next 2 days is longer than the list from the entire last week, so she's definitely got her work cut out for her.
All right, it's a new day. We have a lot to do and it kind of feels like a lot of mismatched stuff, and last minute I won't say having second thoughts about the stain, but I just was like, I just want to come back over and double check. So we brought a few more stain samples over just to look again, to get eyes on it again, and I think I'm going with the original stain. I love it. We also had them test out hanging some options to figure out how high we want our railing to be, and so we need to do quite a bit more of our tile going up because it's going to go to the bottom shelf in between the cabinets. I brought some pretty decor stuff because of course I've got to start playing with stuff and seeing how it looks, and also last minute I was like, I need to measure again for this shelf. How deep do I want it for sure? So I feel like we just had a lot of like last minute decisions that I just wanted to come and double check all of them, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky when you're not at your own house, is you're not just running into the other room. We have to drive to go check things again. All right, so next step for today is adding another row of the tile up here. And then I also need just one more tile's worth at the bottom, just so I can get this shelf that's gonna go back here right where I want it. And so what I'm actually gonna do is probably cut away some of this tile because I have it a little bit too high, because we have pretty much exactly the amount of tile that we need.
Excited about how this is going to turn out.
All right, so we double checked the things we needed to check on. I landed on the stain color for sure. I'm going with the same one I had originally chosen. I just needed to double check. Now it's time to head back to our house. We're gonna stain this, cut the shelf for back there, cut the shelf for between the cabinets, get all of it stained so it can be drying, so we have time to get the top coat before we reveal all of this space in the next couple of days.
Whoa. You're not looking at my glutes, are you? After solidifying a plan, we were ready to head back to our house and get to work.
Next, I need to rip down the shelf that's gonna go on that part back behind my washer and dryer. It's gonna be 10 inches deep, so I've got my saw set up here with the rip cut guide to cut to 10 inches. We're gonna use the leftover piece of butcher block. We're going with the same wood, so it looks really good. Not the sharpest blade ever.
It smells like popcorn. Did you do it right?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Would have been bad if not. So I have one more board to cut down at a different width. This is for my shelf that's gonna go in between the cabinets. There's just gonna be one shelf because we want space to hang clothes, and so instead of cutting all the way down, I'm just gonna cut a little bit longer than what I need, and then I'll cut it down on my miter saw. Next, we're gonna go ahead and sand both of these shelves lightly, and then we'll be ready to finish up the stain. Like I mentioned earlier, I decided to go with the original stain I picked out, which is General Finishes Gel Stain in the color Antique Walnut.
That looks great.
It does. I'm glad. I feel good about this stain color. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and stain the countertops. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the stuff that needs paint because it won't take quite as long to dry. So we've got our little kitty door. The glue has been drying for several days now. I went ahead and filled in the little cracks with wood filler, and it's dry now. I guess that's the positive of it being so hot, is everything dries really fast. So I'm gonna sand it, then we're gonna start doing paint on this, and then I'm gonna paint the shelf that goes in between my two upper cabinets. I'll still have to trim it down to size, but I can touch that paint up easily. This way I can go ahead and get a few coats on it and get it looking nice. The first coat on the cat door, I moved on to painting the shelves that will go between the upper cabinets. By the time I finished painting the shelf, the cat door was dry and ready for the second coat of paint. After the paint on the shelf dried, I gave it a light sanding and then applied a second coat of paint. Alright, the stain is dry, so I'm going to do the first coat of wipe-on poly. This is what I'm using for my top coat. I love this stuff just because it really is invisible. It brings out the grain because it is a good clear top coat. I will say, since it's oil-based, it'll yellow over time, so keep that in mind depending on what stain. Obviously this one's dark, so that doesn't matter at all. And then one last thing, whenever you do butcher block or even a piece of furniture, you want to seal both sides. And so I didn't worry about finishing staining the undersides where I did all my samples, but you do want to seal it, because if you don't, over time, the bottom of your piece is going to end up absorbing more moisture just from the air, or especially since this is in a laundry area, there's going to be even more moisture, and it'll end up curving like this. After all of the paint and stain was dry, we loaded everything up to head back over to their house to get everything installed.
We made it! Uh-oh, goodies are showing up. Looks like a light fixture. Kiki, we're back.
Here we go. All right, next thing on the to-do list is I need to mark on the baseboard down here to the right of my lower cabinet. Then I'm gonna cut it with my multi-tool so I can pull out the baseboard so we can get it all the way flush with the wall. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark and then pull this cabinet out and we'll get it done. Once I removed the small piece of baseboard, I put the cabinet back in place and attached it to the wall. It's like my Mary Poppins bag. After I got the cabinet secured, I was ready to go get the butcher block countertop. That looks great.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
Then we're gonna add a little kitty door. I really thought
Oh, kitty meow meow door.
Before lifting the cabinet in place, I went ahead and marked where my studs were on the wall to make installation a little bit easier. Next, I was ready to start installing the upper cabinets, and for this, I grabbed Dean's help.
I hate that sound.
Go up?
Yeah.
The right side?
How do I always end up in these positions? Atlas man! Shaking my brain. Is that it? You got it?
Yeah. Ready?
Ready for the next side? Yeah, let's go.
After getting the cabinets level and secured at the top, I went ahead and added a couple of extra screws at the bottom as well. After I finished installing the cabinets, I measured for the shelf that would go between my upper cabinets.
Look like a glove, baby.
Oh my gosh, and I cut it like the perfect width too. All right, moment of truth. This is a curtain rod without the extender, and it's really close to the exact size I need, and I don't know if I'm gonna have to cut it down, which will be annoying, but... Oh, look at that! It fits like perfect. That's crazy. I'm feeling really lucky right now. Before I could install the clothes rod, I needed to mark where the screws would go so I could drill pilot holes. Hold on, let me get my pencil.
I'll just be here waiting. It's a good thing I put on deodorant. I don't know if y'all can see anything, but she's drilling in a screw.
Sometimes you just need a little bit more arm strength on these hard to reach places, and so I got a little help from Dean. My shoulders are like dead.
DIY Dean on the scene.
I'm sweating. We were inside and I'm literally dripping sweat. That was so hard.
Hey, but it looks amazing.
It does look really good. All right, we ran out of time. Dean is going to pick up our kids at school, but we really want to get this finished by tomorrow. I'm gonna keep working on this shelf here. I've already, ripped down the board, so it's the simple stuff left, and then I can work on putting the doors back on, which is just tedious and takes time. So before I could install the shelf that would go behind the washer and dryer, I attached a piece of scrap wood by screwing it into the studs in the wall. had my support boards installed, it was time to measure and cut my shelf. Basically, I just need to figure out how much I'm cutting off of here. Might be about a 1/4 inch. Go make a cut. That little piece just needs to be stained, but that works. I'm gonna clean up my mess and then I'm gonna start attaching the doors. Oh my gosh, it's looking so pretty. I can't help it. This is what I do mid-project, is set things up. Here we go. Oh, kitty door's so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna make Jane proud. I'm gonna move the camera. I don't even know how to get this thing off this way. My excellent filming. Okay, moving on to an upper door. I'm really excited to get these tall cabinet doors on. I feel like I need to redo our laundry room now though, because my laundry room is not very pretty. Holy cow. Maybe I should move the camera, huh? It's so hard to hold the door up and put the screws in at the same time. Cabinet color is perfect. Definitely easier to put your hinges in first and then hang it. I need like a DIY wife intern to come and help me hold things. No peeking. We'll finish it tomorrow, but I don't want them to see it at all until it's like done, just because that's more fun. See you mañana.
So this is probably a good time to pause and share a little announcement. Some of you may remember a video we did a while back saying that we were actually in talks with the TV network. We've been trying to keep that conversation under wraps until it was finished, but now over a year later, it's official. DIY Wife has a TV show that will air on Dabble TV. I'm Dean.
And I'm Andrea.
Join us on our DIY adventures. She's the handy one in this relationship.
I just didn't have the right tools.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
I've been building this in my head.
You're the real deal, babe.
We transform spaces, big and small.
Show off some amazing furniture flips.
Designing, demoing, building, and painting.
You'll meet our kids and have plenty of laughs along the way.
DIY Wife premieres Monday, September 18th at 8:30, 7:30 Central.
So if you get Dabble TV, then be sure to go check out our TV show, which still sounds really weird to say out loud. And just to answer any questions that you guys might have, we will continue making videos on YouTube for the foreseeable future. This TV contract is actually a licensing deal, which means that they're taking the videos that we've shot and posted on YouTube and repurposing them for TV use. So we will continue posting DIY projects here on YouTube, and then eventually they'll make their way over to our TV show. And now let's get back into this laundry room. Big day today, huh?
Yep. Final day. We've got like all the finishing touches. I've got a couple of errands I need to run really quickly, and we need to go fast because they also have an appointment this afternoon, so we're going to try and finish before then, but I'm probably being overly optimistic.
Do you want to do a little bet?
No, because I feel like you slow me down on purpose with the camera.
No. All right, let's just go to Lowe's and let's get started. Let's see if we can get this done before lunch. Oh! Hey. No way, we're pro now.
All right, bud.
She's already running off and leaving me because she doesn't want to wait. She wants to get done before noon.
Dude, this is ridiculous. I have to run to keep up with them.
In Lowe's, I needed to get a couple of things to finish up the cabinets.
Nice, bro. Yeah. Look at the muscle action we got going on here. It's not looking too good for me up there.
After Lowe's, I needed to make one more stop to get a few more finishing items for the laundry room.
I don't know. You tell me, you're the designer. I was thinking like, I don't know, do we want like Hot Pockets or like Tostino's pizza rolls? Like, I don't know. I'm just kind of going back and forth really. What are you thinking, Asher? Yeah.
After I got everything I needed from Target, we were ready to head back over to their house and get this laundry room finished.
Alright, let's get to boogieing. Ooh, about the art kit, yo. Take off the wrapping.
I know.
As we were getting set up to work on the laundry room, our youngest was ready to get started on a project of his own.
What you got in your art kit, Asher?
Markers.
All right, we're back. We're so close to getting this space finished. First up on the agenda today is to cut the crown molding because I need to get that up, get it caulked, put some trim pieces, get that caulked, and then we can paint it all. But that's gonna be our biggest time factor because the caulk has to dry, the paint has to dry in between coats. All right, so let's get measuring and cutting for crown molding. I definitely took a little more time measuring today because we did not have time for another Lowe's trip if I messed up.
Measure 3 times, go to Lowe's once.
Once I had the crown molding for the first cabinet cut, I started installing it using a brad nailer and a piece of tape to act as an extra set of hands. How's it look?
Great.
Once I finished installing the crown molding on the first cabinet, I used some wood filler to fill in my nail holes. So if you watched us build our last giant cabinet that we did before this summer, you remember that was the first time I actually learned that you can cut your crown molding flat like this. And my miter saw has the actual like notches for the correct angles, but if you look it up online, this way is 31.6 and I think it's 33.9. It is so easy. Like, I just love this. I'm like, if you're cutting crown molding, I feel like this makes it 100 times easier. Once I finished cutting the rest of the crown molding, I was ready to install it on the second cabinet. All right, I've got all the crown molding up. Next, I bought just a really thin piece of trim to put on the edges of the cabinet because either the wall or the cabinet, it's just not sitting completely flush and I want to get a clean line there because it's too much to caulk. And so I'm gonna nail up a couple of trim pieces and then I'll be ready to caulk and paint this thing. Alright, I've got all the trim finished up there. I'm going to caulk everything. This stuff should dry. It says ready to paint in 30 minutes. So we're going to caulk it all and then move on to the next thing while that dries. Caulking before painting always makes a huge difference and so is a step that is definitely worth not skipping. I usually just wipe the caulk away with my finger, but I also like to use wet paper towels or baby wipes to get a really smooth, clean finish. Alright, so I've got the trims all up, it's all caulked. We're going to let that dry for a little bit. I'm going to keep putting the hinges on these last two doors. Oh, what you think?
It's amazing, baby.
This is cool. It's like they have such great high ceilings that I feel like doing the taller cabinets, doing the crown molding, it just makes the space feel so like grand and expensive and I'm out of breath. We are so close. I've got all the doors on. They're all straight and level, which takes a little bit of tweaking. Ready to get the first coat of paint on, and then I think we'll pause for lunch. We're definitely gonna barely finish this today. It looks so pretty. I'm gonna make myself leave. This is the part where I just wanna stand here and stare. But we promised our little helper that we were gonna take him on a little lunch date today, and it is past lunchtime, so we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll come back, do another coat, get the hardware on, then we're gonna be ready to reveal it. We're probably gonna be on a little bit of time crunch, but I agree.
Alright, let's get to boogieing.
Alright, we're back. I'm gonna quickly do a second coat of paint, and then it'll be time to attach the hardware. We're so close. It's looking, I love it. It looks so good.
Calm down,
I
baby.
say that a lot. Alright, painting is done and we're ready for hardware. Once I figured out where I wanted to install the knobs, I measured, marked, and then drilled a hole so I could attach them. After I finished installing the hardware on the upper cabinets, I moved on and did the same thing for the lowers to finish up the hardware.
Progress was coming along nicely, but we were starting to run out of time.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Don't mean to rush you here, but they are on their way.
They were on their way, and it was pretty much a mad dash to the finish line.
Hurry, babe, hurry!
What's half of 27 and a half?
Why are you asking me? I'm not a mathematician.
It's so cute.
I like it. Hurry, babe, hurry! What, babe? We got it.
Just came out of there.
Babe, they are here.
Thankfully, we got it finished just in time, and after a couple weeks of hard work, we were finally ready to reveal this laundry room to Grant and Allie.
Alright, guys, come on down.
What? It looks so good.
Wait, this looks amazing. The cabinets are so big. Aren't they so awesome?
Awesome.
I love the color of this too. I'm so shocked.
Yeah, seriously.
It looks so good. You see your kitty door? Yes! I love it. I can not believe how good this
Yes.
looks. I guess I should have. I should believe how good. That's what I kept saying. I didn't know, like, it just looks so good. It really does. They'll have like such high ceilings too, and so like doing the tall cabinets just makes it feel like it opened it up. Yeah, I love it. It's so pretty. Thank you. It's such a pretty laundry room. Yeah.
Well, how incredible does this laundry room look? I mean, you absolutely crushed it in there, baby. Come on.
Yeah, it really is crazy just what a few kind of key changes make to a space. And I feel like even though it's a small space, we totally transformed it with the tall upper cabinets, the different paint colors, the butcher block countertops. I love all of it. I love that it has just these classic warm colors. It's so inviting. What a great space to do laundry.
You created a dream laundry room, and I know that they are pumped on it. And really, that's the beauty of DIY, right? Is you can spend a little bit of money, put in a lot of hard work, and make something incredible. So that's all for this laundry room makeover, but you'll definitely want to stick around because next we are moving into the living room, and Andrea has some incredible plans for this space.
All right, Grant, could you cry a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Kitty, look at this beautiful stained custom shelf just for you.
All right, let's see if I can figure out how to get this camera back on the tripod. Hopefully we're not about to show us breaking this camera.
Look, it's just, dude, I can't say laundry room. All right, ready?
I want to punch you.
What you got? Wow, that's good. You've been working on a masterpiece like Mommy's been working on a masterpiece, huh?
Hey, Mom, look.
I love it. Good job, babe. If you open your mouth when you paint, it helps. I can find myself going,
Just don't eat that paint.
Do you think we're gonna make it before the baby comes?
I think so, yes. Unless, hopefully, Allie don't have this baby early.
That's what I'm afraid of. Like, this baby comes 3 weeks early, and
I
we're
want
like,
to
oh my
give
gosh.
ourselves some kind of buffer, you know, just in case. I don't want to go up. We're not going up till 40 weeks, that's for sure.
And if you haven't already, now would be a good time to subscribe and hit the notification bell because we're doing an entire living room makeover in next week's video.